The First World War, a huge and destructive conflict, began in the summer of 1914. Europe at the start of the 20th century was like a pile of dry wood, ready to catch fire from the smallest spark. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, on June 28, 1914, was that spark. A Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip shot the Archduke in Sarajevo. This event set off a chain reaction of mistakes by diplomats and countries preparing for war. Austria-Hungary, wanting to crush Serbian nationalism, gave Serbia an ultimatum with demands they knew Serbia couldn't meet. Serbia, supported by its strong ally Russia, tried to negotiate but refused to meet all of Austria-Hungary's demands. On July 28, 1914, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. This activated a complex system of alliances pulling the most powerful countries in Europe into the conflict. Germany, bound by a treaty to Austria-Hungary, promised its support. Russia, obligated to defend Serbia, started preparing its massive army. Germany, afraid of fighting a war on two fronts, declared war on Russia on August 1st and on France, Russia's ally, on August 3rd. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand was just the trigger. It set in motion the forces of nationalism, imperialism and militarism that had been building for decades. Europe, divided by empires that wanted more power and influence, was like a powder keg waiting to explode. The alliances, which were supposed to prevent war, actually made things worse, dragging one nation after another into the conflict. The Archduke's assassination showed how fragile peace was and how dangerous unchecked nationalism and imperial ambition could be. To understand how quickly the conflict escalated, we need to look at the complex web of alliances that connected the nations of Europe. The Triple Alliance, formed in 1882, united Germany, Austria-Hungary and Italy in a pact of mutual defense. This alliance, created by Bismarck to isolate France and keep Germany powerful, formed a strong bloc in the heart of Europe. France responded to the Triple Alliance by seeking alliances with Russia and Great Britain, leading to the Triple Entente in 1907. This counter-alliance, while not as formally structured as the Triple Alliance, created a balance of power against Germany. These alliances, meant to prevent war by making the consequences too high, actually made the crisis worse. When Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, it started a domino effect. Germany, obligated to defend Austria-Hungary, declared war on Russia and France. Great Britain, hesitant at first, joined the war when Germany invaded France through neutral Belgium. The intricate web of alliances meant to keep peace turned a regional conflict into a global war. The Central Powers, Germany, Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire, were now at war with the Allied powers, Great Britain, France, Russia, and eventually Italy, Japan and the United States. The world watched in disbelief as Europe, armed with industrial-age weapons, descended into chaos. August 1914 saw a flurry of military activity and declarations of war as the network of alliances pulled Europe's great powers into the conflict. Germany, following the Schlieffen Plan, a military strategy designed to avoid fighting a war on two fronts, launched a surprise attack on France through neutral Belgium. This angered Great Britain, who declared war on Germany on August 4th. The German advance, led by well-trained and equipped troops, swept through Belgium but met strong resistance from the Belgian army and civilians. The Germans, expecting a quick victory, were delayed, giving France and Britain time to prepare their forces. As the German army neared Paris, the French army, joined by British troops, launched a desperate counterattack at the Battle of the Marne. This battle, fought from September 5th to 12th, 1914, was a turning point in the war. The French and British, with more soldiers and timely reinforcements, stopped the German advance. This ended the belief that Germany was unbeatable and ruined their hopes for a quick victory. The Battle of the Marne marked the end of mobile warfare on the Western Front. It was the beginning of a long and exhausting stalemate that would define the next 4 years of the war. The Western Front, stretching over 400 miles from the North Sea to Switzerland, became known for trench warfare. This brutal type of combat resulted in huge numbers of casualties, both sides, unable to break through enemy lines, dug in, creating elaborate trench systems protected by barbed wire, machine guns and artillery. Life in the trenches was horrible for the soldiers. They lived in cramped and dirty conditions, facing constant shelling, disease, and the threat of enemy attack. The battles on the Western Front were often bloody and indecisive, resulting in massive casualties for small territorial gains. One of the most infamous battles was the Battle of the Somme, which lasted from July 1st to November 18th, 1916. This battle, meant to be a decisive Allied victory, turned into a bloody stalemate, resulting in over 1 million casualties on both sides. The first day of the battle, July 1st, 1916, is still the bloodiest day in British military history, with over 57,000 British casualties. The Western Front became a symbol of the pointlessness and brutality of war, a testament to the human cost of the conflict. While the Western Front was characterized by trench warfare and stalemate, the Eastern Front was more fluid and mobile, fought over vast distances. The Russian army, though large, was poorly equipped and led. They faced a tough opponent in the German and Austro-Hungarian armies. The Eastern Front saw some of the war's largest battles, including the Battle of Tannenberg in August 1914, where the Germans decisively defeated the Russian Second Army. Another was the Brusilov offensive in 1916, a successful Russian attack that inflicted heavy casualties on the Austro-Hungarian army. Despite these successes, the Russian army suffered heavy losses on the Eastern Front. They were plagued by logistical problems, poor leadership, and declining morale. The Russian Revolution of 1917, caused by the war's devastating impact on Russian society, led to Russia's withdrawal from the war in 1918. This allowed Germany to move troops to the Western Front.